to seek damages for harm from exposure to contaminated water at Camp Lejeune. Call Saddle Rock Legal Group to discuss your case now.
Call 1-800-940-9119.
The war in the Middle East has brought foreign policy to the forefront of the Republican presidential primary. And Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has not only laid out how he would be handling the crisis if he were in the White House, but he's also using his current job to back America's top ally in the region. Since the fighting has begun, DeSantis says he has helped evacuate hundreds of American citizens from Israel and even sent healthcare supplies and military equipment to support Israeli forces. Joining us now is GOP presidential candidate Governor Ron DeSantis. Welcome to you, and good to have you on the program, Governor.
Appreciate being with you.
All right, so is all that the case? Have you done all of that as a state, as a governor, in support of Israel in this war?
Yeah, you know, when the attacks happened, I knew that this was going to impact Florida because we have a very strong relationship with Israel. There's a lot of affinities with our people and theirs, a lot of cross-pollination. We have a big Israeli-American population. And what we found after a day or two is that people were stranded. They weren't getting help from the State Department. They weren't getting help from the embassy there in Jerusalem. And so I did an executive order in Florida, and we were able to scramble planes and bring back mostly Floridians, but not all, because there were other Americans who were stranded. We're all Americans in this. So we ended up bringing back, rescuing over 700 people back to Florida. And my wife and I were there greeting the first plane that came by. 271 total people, but 91 children. And so that really brings it home that you had families with young children. I had one mother point to her, looked like about a 5 or 6 year old daughter, and say to me for the last 2 nights, she just kept saying, "Mommy, I can't have the rockets anymore. I need Florida. We got to get back to Florida." So we were able to help do that. And then when the planes went back to pick up more people, they were able to bring a lot of donated supplies, medical supplies, but also things that were donated like Kevlar and helmets and a whole bunch of things that can be useful as Israel defends itself in this war.
When I flew out of Israel a couple of weeks ago, Governor, I took an El Al flight to Miami. And the nature of the population there in South Florida really was driven home. A lot of people who were very happy to be going back to the United States. A lot of people very happy for our coverage of the war. But when it comes down to this idea of military equipment, your critics have said, well, wait a second, this is a job for the federal government. It's one thing to send Kevlar and helmets over there, but have you procured any weapons or ammunition to be sent over there?
So what we did, it was not anything that the state of Florida. So we had people in our state, private citizens, who wanted to purchase and donate that type of equipment, ammunition and weapons, and largely for the first responders who typically aren't armed, but given Hamas is attacking first responders. So they felt that there was a need. Now, we did not make that transport, but we worked with actually El Al and was able to get that stuff over. But that was not anything that Florida had. Those were all donated pieces of equipment where philanthropists purchased and, you know, probably put a lot of money out for that. And then we helped engineer the transport, but we didn't actually transport it ourselves.
Okay. What do you say to those who are accusing you? The head of the Democratic Party in your state, Nikki Fried, says you're an absentee governor. You're acting more like the commander-in-chief than the governor of Florida, saying Biden's the commander-in-chief of our military, not Ron DeSantis. That same person also saying this is a gross breach of norms and a potential violation of federal laws governing the shipment of weapons. What do you say to those criticisms?
Well, we had Floridians that were in distress. I looked to see all the hostages that are being held by Hamas. We know, of course, there are many Americans. Had we not acted when we did, there may be more Americans held hostage. We rescued people who were in distress. My job as governor is looked after the safety and welfare of people in this state. It just so happened that a very close ally of not only the United States but Florida was attacked viciously, and that left a lot of our people in a breach, and they were in a difficult spot. So I think leadership is up and you fill the void. And so that
Heaven Online Islamic Center. We provide online Quranic and Islamic classes through Skype and Zoom all over the world for kids and adults. Time and day at your own choice. Highly qualified male and female English, Urdu Urdu speaking teachers. Affordable monthly fee. We are teaching 24 hours. Female teachers available for female students. Get certification on completion of your course. No age limitation. We are teaching basic qaida, memorization of Quran, Holy Quran with Tajweed rules, translation and tafsir, namaz and kalimas. Tajweedul Quran course. Mathematics. 3 days free trial classes. Contact us. Heaven Online Islamic Center. WhatsApp number +92 313 688 6586. www.heavenislamicCenter.com. Email heavenislamiccenter@gmail.com.